Okay, we're back after that brief phone interruption. I was Stephen Lee. He doesn't even have to be introduced. So many of us know who he is, but I want him to share what he's got going on in the community, because I was pretty fascinated when he started talking to me about his journey presently.
Thank you very much, Brian. So the nonprofit organization Unity Network and Counseling Center for the past 5 years have been focusing on educational opportunities and job development and training for our at-risk youth. This month is one of our biggest months of the year where we send students back to college. Now, this is not like an ordinary, this is not the focusing on the top 20% of the students that are graduating from high school. These are young people that barely made it across the stage of high school, where you left that crack in and they snuck in and they got their high school diploma. But we've been able to, for the last 5 years, send those individuals to college. Currently, we have about 200 students that are in college that we focus on making sure they stay in college. They have transportation back and forth from college, to and from college, their books, and different things that they need in order to go to school. We even offer scholarships, partial scholarships, to help them stay in school so that they will be able to make a difference in their lives. So this is our month to where we are sending them back to school, and we solicit all support and help from around the world to help these individuals stay in school, because it is much cheaper to educate them than it is to incarcerate them. So we are making a difference in the lives of those people that continue to need help, that continue to strive, and continue to make a great success story for their lives and for their future.
The People's Champs wants to be part of this, and we definitely going to support you on it. Let us know, actually to my group here, let us know how either an individual or a company can get involved in supporting, sponsoring, promoting, etc.
Well, you can always reach out to Brian Poe Associates, and you can always help make a donation and everything, and reach out to them. They're my attorney group, so they'll always be able to set it up. We're setting up Facebook, we're setting up PayPal, we're setting up the GoFundMe page, and all of that is under Unity Network and Counseling Center.
Okay, and the Stephen Lee page, do you have any more space for people to friend you over there that are interested in this group?
I don't know if I have any more friend space, but I always be liked, and if you like my page,
you got a like page as well.
I got a like page.
So Stephen Lee got a fan page. That's what he said. He's in Hollywood.
But we definitely appreciate it. It's not about Stephen Lee. It's all about the young people that we are making sure.
But this is huge, man. This is huge. Like, tell me, because I think about doing things on this scale. Sometimes I just have to stay in my lane and support others. How did you even have this vision, and how were you able to develop infrastructure to support so many children?
Well, the nonprofit started 23 years ago, and it came about because my mom came to visit. Mm-hmm. And I was living in an apartment complex, and when she came to visit, I was at work. And when I came home, she said, you need to find something for these kids in this community to do, because they're just running around with nothing to do. And I had no interest in doing anything 23 years ago. So my focus was go to work, come home, enjoy life. The next day I came home, she had every kid in the community at my doorstep of my apartment, and she was cooking cookies, baking cookies, and all the ladies elders in the community in the apartment complex was baking cookies and cooking, and had all the kids sitting in that one space. So at that point, I focused on doing doing basketball programs and things of that nature. So 23 years later, here we are. My mom passed about 15 years ago, and so we kept this going in her honor.
That's awesome. He's not going to mention this, but I'm going to mention it. Steve has spent a considerable amount of time on the Atlanta School Board as well, and I'm assuming that you were able to make some progress with the foundation through some of the exposure that you received in that capacity.
Well, I served 4 years on the Atlanta School Board for the Board of Education, and that was my jump off to be able to make sure that we took care of the students that actually really needed the attention. Those students that was on the verge of dropping out, those students that was on the verge of barely making it they didn't get a lot of attention. So it was my focus during the time that I was on the school board to focus on those individuals, to focus on those to make sure that they had the opportunities. So instead of me focusing a lot on the higher end schools and the high end students, I made sure that my focus was on West End Academy, Crim High School, Alonzo Crim High School, making sure that when I went to the schools, I didn't just talk to the straight A students or the 3.5 students. I talked to those students that barely was at the 2.0 level or wasn't even at a 2.0 level, and gave them hope, that told them that if you want to go to college, I will make sure you have an opportunity to go. And that gave those students motivation in order to stay in school. That gave those students an opportunity to say, I can go to college. If this guy says if I graduate high school, he can get me into college. And so you would be surprised at the number of students and the number of parents that actually came out and said, how can we help? I want my kid to go to college. Students were saying, I want to go to college, but I never thought I could. Well, we have an opportunity for you to do that. And so we want to make sure that everybody that wants to go have an opportunity to go.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, we're going to be following you, brother. We're going to be supporting you. I want to end on a very positive note. Your check, make sure that your money is in there, that you won't walk away without that check.
Yep, it's in there. Yes, it is.
I want to say special thanks to Chrisna Jones, Jamie Cox, Myoshia, Dr. Winston Carhee, and all of the people that have been involved in helping Stephen return to health and be navigated to a point where we were able to settle him successfully today. So thank you for being a client. Please recommend us to others.
You got it.
All right. That's it.